Time for In the Sulky with Brandon Simpson, the 2010 Oshawa Monticello chapter, Goshen chapter, a rising star. Great to have you here, Brandon. You're a real gentleman, a great guy to talk to. We've been talking here for about 10 minutes about the wind. Right?
Yeah.
And the fact that last night the winds were really whipping out, but the winds didn't seem to affect the racing last night like it did last week, right?
No, it seemed like you could position your horse a little better, more on the front, and you could keep going on the front end a little better than last week. Last week the front end was really tough.
Yeah, we saw you win with Winback Alice in race 5 last night. Also Wildridge Sam turning for home. We just saw the replay there. I thought, there's no way, even when I was calling the race, there's no way you're going to hold on here.
Yeah, he saw the horse coming up the inside and he gutted it out. He raced good.
But you said the horse on the inside. He saw the horse on the inside because he's got a hole in the cup.
Yeah,
here,
he has
right?
holes in his cups, and once that horse got to his inside, he fought on.
Right, and you pulled off, you stole a move here. You pulled a minister move with Winback Alice in race 5. Tell us about that.
She's been really good, just maybe not in the right spot, and it looked like a good race to do that in, and she hung on and kept going.
You just sense when there's time that you can unleash and pull that kind of, pull the trigger and pull that kind of move, right?
Yeah, she felt good. I've been kind of wanting to be a little more aggressive with her, just hasn't been the right chance yet, and last night looked like a good spot.
Boy, you were showboating turning for home. You look good turning for home. You look like a Meadowlands regular right there.
Trying.
Yeah. Are you still stabled at Mark Ford's training center? Do you still have horses training?
Yep.
Right.
I still have some horses, and we downsized a little bit, but it's still nice, and I enjoy training.
Are you settled in the area? Are you living in New Jersey or Pennsylvania, New York? Where are you living?
I live in New York, and we live in Slate Hill, about 15 minutes from Mark Ford's training center, and it's a good central location for everywhere.
Now, we've only raced 3 days a week here. Have you raced anywhere else during the week?
I race at Monticello Monday through Thursday, and when the other tracks open up, maybe I can try to pick up some more work.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, what are your plans for the summer? Are you going to just race everywhere?
I don't know.
Wherever you can?
Yeah, hopefully I can. I'd like to do some Pennsylvania, some Pocono, Chester if I can. You know, it's tough to get into, but hopefully I can work something out.
How about a stakes colt? How about a Meadowlands pace horse?
That'd be nice.
How about the Hambletonian?
That'd be really nice.
It would be great to see you
really
in
nice.
the Hambletonian. You had a nice run through the fall meet. You worked your way into the driving colony, took advantage of some networking with trainer Mark Ford, and you made a strong impression, and you really improved. That was a good, you moved up to that next stage.
Yeah, Mark helped me out a lot last year. He gave me some chances, and he continues to give me chances, and I just appreciate all the owners and trainers that are giving me a shot. I enjoy it out here, and hopefully they let me drive their horses.
Now, how different has it been now during the winter meet when, all the top drivers are here? How do you handle the more intense competition of this winter meet?
It's different. They've taken some of my live drives. That's part of it. But
you've taken some of theirs.
It's been good. I enjoy driving with these guys. They're very professional drivers, very good drivers, and it makes for good racing and safe and fun.
Is it like a clinic out there, meaning, you're constantly learning from the best?
Oh, yeah.
That makes you better.
Yeah, I've watched some of these guys my whole life, and I feel like I learn from them all the time, and now that I'm actually racing with them every night, I think I keep learning more.
It's like going to harness driving school.
It is.
When you race at the Meadowlands.
Yep, it's nice.
One key or sign of your success are getting drives from, we mentioned Mark Ford, but also Lou Pena, last year's leading trainer, and Ken Rucker, who you won for last night.
Yeah, it's nice to drive for those guys. They've been giving me some chances, and they keep putting me up on their horses, and hopefully I can keep doing good for them.
One of the keys to your success through the fall, you mentioned when we interviewed you last time, is patience and not doing anything stupid out there. But now you're sort of combining that patience with some aggression.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
When the time is right.
I've learned about pick your spots, and there's times you can go forward with a long shot and you get in a good spot and they come through, and there's times that you need to just try to give them a good trip.
It's great to have that power, though.
Yeah, it is. It helps. It helps a lot.
Be able to use a horse.
Yeah,
maybe more than once.
It's good to be able to put a horse in a race and position them, and it makes your job a lot easier.
Let's take a look at your drives tonight.
Okay.
You can, after this, maybe have a cup of coffee, a little snack before you get underway in race 3, the 5 Master Stroke, a Meadowlands Bearcat. He's in raging form, first over into the wild winds last Saturday.
Yeah, he's been really strong. He's a great horse to drive. 2 fingers. And you hit the stretch and he always gets more. Like he always digs in more every time you hit the stretch and keeps going. He's a fun horse to drive.
Is this a horse like Ridge Jumper where you can just put this horse out there first over? There's just certain horses you can do that with, right?
Yeah, I think he likes it. You know, if you get around the turn and you can stay close, he's always going to give you everything he's got when you hit the lane, and you know, hopefully you can get the win.
We've got more ideal racing conditions tonight, and when the weather is not so much of a factor, that's one less thing to worry about out there.
Yeah,
right?
Those wins last weekend were unbelievable, and you don't know if the horse is going to handle it very well, or it just changes everything.
Now, there are other situations where you're just trying to get the most money out of a horse or get a good check, and maybe that's the case in race 4 with the 2 Aragon for Pete Kleinhans, who drops even further now to the bottom rung, and this horse is in search of a wake-up call. When is that wake-up call coming? How do you wake the horse up?
I don't know. You know, he shows some couple, you know, the second line back was a good mile. He drew better. Maybe if we get a good trip and he can pop out late, you know, it might work out.
So try to be patient, save ground,
yeah,
make a late move?
Yeah, it looks like it, unless they tell you something different. But, you know, try to get him a good trip. If you stay close with some of those, they respond for you.
All right, race 6, the 7 Camshaft Hanover. He drops back to a dangerous level here, owns one big move. It looks like this horse is prone to making premature moves. You know, he has that button, you just need to push it at the right time.
Yeah, he looks like a really nice horse. His lines look good. He's been racing good. I'm glad to be able to drive him.
All right, you're going to learn about the horse scoring down a little, get familiar with him.
Yeah, and hopefully we can work out a good trip, and it looks like he usually responds. So.
All right, long shot time in race 7, 9 Nuclear Jojo facing a tall order from post 9. Outside, some classy foes in there.
Yeah, tough race. You know, hopefully we can get lucky maybe.
All right, in a race like that where you're sitting back, are you going to school on other horses?
Sometimes.
You know, looking to see who the competition is, and maybe study them and get to know those horses more?
Yeah, and you can kind of watch the flow. Sometimes it's better staying on the rail the whole time, and sometimes you can get in the flow. You know, it helps you learn that way too, because you got to be able to get checks, and you know, it helps you get some checks even.
Absolutely. Race 8, the 5 Michaels Marvel might get a big check there. Loads of back class and speed has been his game recently.
Yeah, he looks like a good speed horse. I drove him before, and there was some speed inside of us, and I wasn't able to go forward with him, but he looks way better when you go forward with him.
Okay. Race 9, the 5 Arts Fave 1. You did well with him in the fall. Takes his second shot at this greatly reduced level here, so the class relief will wake him up.
Yeah, he's okay. You know, he got a little sick and a little off because of the weather and everything, but, you know, hopefully he'll bounce back and get back rolling like he was in the fall.
So he's a little healthier now, is what you're saying?
I hope so, yeah.
All right. Race 11, the 7 Herzon, stepping up a notch here, but this is a fresh live item. Herzon, number 7, race 11.
Yeah, I actually followed this horse last week, and he made a huge move and was flying home, and if we can get in the right spot, I think he's got a good shot.
All right, good stuff. And then finally in race 12, you're going to win that one. You're going to win. No. The 4
so.
PH Jackpot really came to life. 2 starts back. Now, how can you tell before the race, 2 starts back, this horse exploded.
Yeah.
Just took off. You unleashed this horse first up. Goodbye.
Yeah.
When do you know a horse is going to do that?
I knew the week
before.
Do you know?
You knew the week before.
Yeah, it was a muddy night the week before, and the front end was bad, and I was sitting third, and we were going slow fractions. I removed to the front, let David Miller go, and my horse got a little grabby in the hole, and I think I maybe choked him a little bit, or I don't know. He didn't like it.
Right.
So the next time I just tried to one move him, and he was huge.
Well, he does have license. I mean, he has a good record last year. And, we were, as handicappers, he ruined my pick 4 ticket. No,
sorry.
But as handicappers, we're trying to figure out when this horse is going to, pop up.
I think you just got to make sure you don't start him up too much early and get him in a bad spot that way, and he'll finish up good for you.
Well, it sounds like you're going to school well here at the Big M as a driver and as a gentleman. We appreciate you showing up here once again, and best of luck to you.
All right, thanks a lot.
Okay, Brandon Simpson in the Sulky. Bob Hayden up next, and we'll tee up tonight's action.